Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tammy coming to you live today from my office. It is Sunday, which means it is Sunday sermon, and this is always way more fun with friends. So make sure as you jump on here today that you are saying hello, telling us where you're watching from, and if you are a member of the Grateful Fed family, please drop us a Grateful Fed. And let's just be honest, you're all a part of the family if you're here today. So make sure you're dropping those things in the comments. A hello, tell us where you're watching from, as well as a Grateful Fed in the comments. I am live today. This will be the last Sunday sermon I will not be able to be. I will be able to go live in the Hometown Hippie group. My buns are a little crooked, but that's okay. Y'all don't mind my crooked head. But I will be live next week, hopefully back in the Hometown Hippie private group. But today I am there in the business group. I am on my personal timeline as well as in the TAM Unity over in Facebook. So, I mean, YouTube. So I'm live a little bit of everywhere. Oh, excuse me. And this morning, I just wanted to, good morning. There's some people. I knew somebody was going to come say hello to me today. Good morning from Crew, Virginia, Miss Elizabeth Clark. And I appreciate you for dropping a Grateful Fed. So this morning, I'm going to ask you to be like Elizabeth and say hello and then tell us a Grateful Fed. And then I see Amanda Giorgetti is here this morning. Good morning. And then we have Norma Jean from Abilene over in YouTube. She is our resident YouTube watcher. If you've not watched us or you've not followed us yet, please go follow us on all of our social media platforms. We are over on YouTube as the TAM Unity is the channel. And then we are live, and Norma Jean's over there. So if you are over there, make sure you're hitting the like button, you're hitting the subscribe button, the bell, all the things, because that will allow you to get notifications when we are live. We have yay, Sarah Watts from Burkeville. Thank you so much for watching. We have Amanda Giorgetti down in Pinellas Park, Florida. We've got Sherry Dotson watching from Buckingham. I think she's also over on YouTube. Thank you so much. I did a little something different in my hair today. I got up, I put makeup on. And it's interesting because some days when I feel like I have the most to say, I come in here looking kind of ratchet, right? I come in here and I'm like, I rolled out of bed. I was a little bit late this morning. Like, y'all don't mind me taking a break from hair and makeup today. I like to give myself one day of the weekend that I don't do any of this, at least one day. And yesterday, I came in here and worked yesterday morning. I got the order done, did the schedule, all of those things. And I came in here and I gave myself a break. I didn't like do the hair. I didn't put any makeup on. I gave my hair a day off, just not rewashing it because, it dries your hair out. And so this morning when I got up, I said, you know what? I'm going to get dressed today. I'm going to put a little makeup on. I was like, maybe in my time in the mirror, I will be able to come up with a Sunday sermon. What I kept hearing this weekend, I kept saying like, okay, God's angels and helpers, I am ready for the message to come in today. I need a little help. Like I've surrendered. I've given myself permission to fail. I'm stepping out in faith instead of fear. And I said, I'm holding space for me to be able to do those things. And I'm doing all of my internal work. I don't really know what I have to pour into other folks today, but I know that whether or not I'm just here saying hi for a few minutes or I'm here pouring in a Sunday sermon, that Sunday sermon is my weekly live. So a couple of things came in this weekend. I kept hearing, get back to basics, get back to basics, get back to basics. And I was thinking to myself, like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean get back to basics? And then I heard a podcast, because I hear everything. It's how things come in is something that I hear and it kind of goes, a light bulb goes off. Anybody else, like, how do you get your moments of connection? Like, I call that connection with God, connection with source. Whenever I am kind of like, I'll listen to a song and it'll almost be like another conversation starts about a line in a song. It's like, oh, this means blah, blah, blah. It's like a whole like message comes in about like maybe a sentence or a something. Even sometimes it'd be something that like we're watching a TV show and like there's a line on the TV show and like all of a sudden it's like red can tell as my eyes go, Oh, I love it. Thank you so much sharing that light and love. I will take it all day long. I definitely need it. Um, and so for me, it's kind of like that. Like I'll hear something and then that's kind of the epiphany that comes in. And then I've not been great about it this week. I had been really, really, really good about it. I have not been in my journal as much this week, in my journals. And y'all know, like, I don't make that up. And I laugh because I carry this around. This is my purse. But I laugh about the fact that I don't know why I don't journal, because I think this is my cross to bear, maybe, because in this book here, and they all have pens with them, they're all ready. These are all ready to rock. This is a journal. This is literally a journal that I've got lots of stuff in, and they're so heavy. These are journals. These are both journals that I write in. Both of these are journals. You can see the journals look a lot different in different stages of play. This is a journal. This is my Reiki journal. Actually, one of my Reiki journals. This is one of my journals that I've written in. This is like my personal journal. And let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, I got another one. And this is my journal. So I say I have not been great about getting in my journals this week, and I don't have any excuse to use other than I just honestly, simply, and verbatim telling you right now, this is what getting back to basics. I just chose not to do it. I had the thoughts, I had the moments, I had the discussions in my head. It's all still running on loop in my head, but I didn't put it on a journal, not because I don't have a journal, because these are all journals that I carry. This is heavy by itself. Plus, there's more stuff in this bag. So I almost feel like this is my cross to bear. It's like, I'm going to put this on your back as weight until you start doing what you said you're going to do, until you start creating that practice, until you start getting back into basics. So I don't journal because I didn't journal this week, not because I didn't have the energy or any of those things. I just simply and honestly did not do it. I just didn't pick up the journal. I didn't do it. It was a personal choice. How many of you out there are feeling some kind of way about what I say? I just chose not to do it. How many of you out there are know what life affirming things you are not doing? Like, how many of you out there can own your bullshit? I see repeating numbers everywhere constantly. I try to stop, be quiet, listen to anything the universe wants to tell me. Whenever I see, that's it. I get to listen and all the things, right? So when I kept hearing that this weekend, I kept hearing getting back to basics, right? Get back to basics, get back to basics. I was like, what are you trying to say? Get back to basics. And then I heard a podcast. And the podcast was talking about this specific thing. Like, what do you do when you're out of sorts, or what do you do to connect with nature? What do you need to get in flow? Like, what are the things that you have to get in flow? And one person, and you can guess who it is. I listened to the Heart Fire podcast, Carly's new podcast. And she was like, he was the guy, Tom was talking about how he has to like find moments to meditate and to be alone and be without people to recenter. And Carly was saying the first thing that she has to do is ask herself, did I drink water? How much water did I drink today? And she started going about this, like going back to basics. Like, first and foremost, you're just a complicated houseplant. And if you're not feeling like yourself, then you need to go back to just the simplest of principles. Like, did I drink enough water today? Did I get enough sleep today? Have I eaten today? And first and foremost, you have to take care of those basic needs, right? Those basic needs before you can start going into the next phase of the world. So when I heard that, right, and Sherry said she's seeing 11111 everywhere, and I have some angel numbers, and I'm always seeing the double digits and all of that too. For me, it's always like, okay, what did I think about? Right, here's how I look at it. Right, so Norma Jean says, I see repeating numbers everywhere constantly. She tries to stop, be quiet, and listen to anything the universe wants to tell her whenever she sees the numbers. Sometimes how I see it, and everybody's different. Everybody has their own way and patterns and all the stuff. One of the things that I was taught with that was to think about where I'm at right in this moment. Like, was I on the way to do something life affirming, right? Maybe the universe is saying to me, good job. I'm glad that you are going to go, sit in nature. You're walking out the door. Maybe you're walking out the door to go ground yourself, and you're going to go like take a walk in nature, and you look up and the clock says 10:10. To me, that is the like the God's way of like, yep, you're on the right track. Get your ass outside and go take that hike, right? Sometimes I will say, we probably should wrap it up right now. Let's get things. You think we should wrap things up? I think we should wrap things up. Let's see what time it is. And I look down at my clock on my watch or my phone, and it's like 1:11 in the afternoon. I'm like, yep, I made the right call. It's time to wrap things up, right? Um, so I use it as like a guidepost of like where I'm at. I normally am if I'm thinking about something and I'm trying to ponder over something, and I'm like, I need a sign, and I ask the universe for those signs, and I say, um, is give me a sign to lets me know that I am making the right decision here, because I am right now at a loss with my intuition. And I'll ask the universe that. And I'm driving down Third Street, and the bank has the clock, and it's usually right there. And when I go by the bank and it's 2:22 in the afternoon, and I've asked the universe that morning for a sign to let me know I'm on the right path, I know that that's the sign. So I use things like that more as markers for me, and everybody has their own way of doing it. But that's just something that I have always used with the numbers and the angel signs and things like that. Um, but I want you all to do this for me today. I want you to tell me what is the one thing that if you don't do it, is it sleep? Is it water? Is it nature? Is it meditation? Is it breath work? What is the one thing that you know will set you back right? Like, what is the one thing when you're out of whack that you can do to get yourself back into the mindset of flow? I'm not saying that, sometimes we don't get out of flow in a day and we can't get right back into flow in a day, but we can start making the steps to getting back to basics to get there. So I want you all to think about that. So if you are starting to feel maybe pain is creeping in, or anxiety is creeping in, or you start having that pattern of stinking thinking, and maybe a little bit of the cow mentality versus the bull, right? You're running with the problem versus running into the storm and handling it. When you are not feeling like your most vibrant self, when you are feeling a little low and a little blue and a little down, what is the one thing that you know might bring you back to center? Are you someone who needs to get a little more sleep? Are you someone who needs to get out in nature? I want to know what is the thing that you need to do whenever you're feeling that way to get yourself back straight. Um, for me right now, I need to get back into my journals. That is getting back to basics. I need to get back into making more life affirming food and beverage choices. I need to, these flies in here. We have been rocking them. This has been the worst summer on history for flies. So I'm waiting for y'all to answer that question, because I'm not moving on till I see some answers, and I know y'all have them. Do me another favor, hit some thumbs up buttons, some hearts, some likes, and tag a friend in the comments, because I'd like to see some more. I'd like to see some faces today. We're missing a few faces today. Like I don't see Heather Johns out here this morning. I don't see Melanie Lewis this morning. I don't see a lot of our fan favorites this morning. So if y'all could tag some folks, let me know. Also, whenever nobody comments, I assume the comments are broken. So I see that Sarah says journaling. And I'm going to ask this question to you, because I'm going to hold y'all to this. Okay. Um, I see Heather. I see that Sarah is tagging people for me. So Sarah says journaling. And Sarah, I want to talk a little bit about journaling, and I want to help folks who maybe are brand new here, and to hear some of the things that I've said in the past that maybe you missed. If you are a puzzler, if you're someone who likes to put, I love that, meditating while in nature is when I get my clearest answers. I think that helps, because there's no like blocking of the crown, because you're right out there in nature. And I love that. And so that if you get out of sorts, that you can get into nature and meditate. Sarah says if she gets out of sorts, she can get into her journal. I think that it's interesting, because I want to use Heather. I want to use Sarah. Sarah, is it okay, yes or no, if I use you as an example? Can I use you as an example? Because I want to do a little like explanation about something. And I think that you're a good example of this. And I'd like to use you, but I want to ask before I do. And it's nothing bad. Like it's nothing bad. Okay, perfect. Of course. That's another thing that I want to encourage you all to do. I am very bad sometimes about like bum rushing folks, and I'm trying to be better about actually asking your permission and then waiting for you to give me that permission. So that's something that I'm working on. So I want y'all to hold me a little accountable for that. So thank you, Sarah, for giving me permission to use you as an example today. I've known Sarah now for a couple of years, probably 4 years, 3 or 4 years. Since I know at least since 3 years, because since 2020, I know I knew her during COVID. And I think probably right around then is when I met Sarah. So about 3 years. I love this. Norma Jean says, I try to give myself a little more love, which you deserve. She went to the spa over the weekend for a fabulous new haircut and pedicure. And those are, I love it. And Norma Jean, you are always, Norma Jean is very much a put together lady. And she likes to be put together when she's out in public. And I think that if those things make you feel good about yourself, Norma Jean, then you should 100% treat yourself to that. And what makes you feel good about you is what you need to do for you. And what I need to do for me, I need to do for me. Everybody needs to do that. So I want to use Sarah as this example. And Sarah had said journaling. And I want to say this, I've known Sarah for a few years. And you can start seeing when something sticks, right? Sarah, like me, deals with some autoimmune stuff because PCOS is an autoimmune. And there are lots and lots of things with that disease that can cause a lot of things. And I very much connect with Sarah because of her journey is very similar to mine with stepchildren, all the things. But I've seen the progression of Sarah, and like now choosing like the right beverages, choosing the right foods for her body and things like that. Sarah just does that automatically, and that is stuck. I say things have stuck. So certain things have worked, right? And I think before we'd have these conversations with Sarah, and it wouldn't have been journaling. It'd been like drinking more water, eating gluten free, really minding my diet, moving my body, things like that. Where before we felt like those were tasks against us. Like when you have that kind of disease and the doctor tells you, like, if you do this, this, and this, you almost feel like it's an uphill battle and your body craves all these things that are not the best for it because our ego takes control and tries to make us feel better through things that don't do good for us, right? So things like a piece of chocolate cake, we think it tastes delicious and that it's good for it's treating ourselves, but in fact that is actually not treating ourselves. And Sarah has been a very good advocate for showing that treating yourself is treating yourself to foods that are good for your body, drinking water. She works with a personal trainer. She's starting to remove all the chemicals out of her house so that she has products in her house that are very much natural. And she is teaching her family how to do that and all of that. So she says that journaling is the thing for her now, because I'm going to tell you though, we can ask Sarah, if we would have had this question 6 months ago, if we would have had this question a year ago, we would have had this question 2 years ago, some of those basic things like drinking enough water, getting good sleep. Now I know Sarah gets her sleep. She has her schedule, but getting good water, eating the right foods, and getting good sleeps, those basic principles would have been way above being able to journal. Am I right, Sarah? Was my assumption, which we shouldn't assume, but my intuitive like nature, it would have been water, food, and sleep. Exactly. So what I'm saying to all of us, right, is sometimes when we're feeling out of sorts and we have big things going on. Maybe we're dealing with big breakups. Maybe we're dealing with big job things. Maybe we're dealing with big financial things. Maybe we're dealing with big just life changes, things like that. We get in our heads about all the things we need to do to change it. And sometimes it's just getting back to basics, and things seem bigger than they are when we're not taking care of ourselves. And that looks different to every single person out there. And I'm not saying that you need to eat what I need to eat. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying for you, what are the basic things that you need? It might not be food for you. It might not be beverages for you. It might simply be, I don't get enough sleep. I know so many of you I work with, so many of you suffer with not being able to quiet your mind or soothe your body pain to be able to get rest. And so many of you I have met with and worked with, when you've been on like a 2-week insomnia miserable, and we work on getting you just like, here's the deal. I was like, right now, let's don't worry about highly vibrational. Let's worry about knocking you out. Let's find a really high dose something to put you to bed tonight, just to knock you out, even if you have to sleep hard, right? So we give you the 420 cookie, or we do a cinnamon toast crunch cookie, which is ridiculous, right? And you get some sleep, and you get that really first good night's sleep where you wake up and you like feel refreshed, and then your mind is clear, and then you can get back in nature, get into your journal. But sometimes whatever that thing is for you that you need to reset, that is not mine to say. Everyone has something different. Hi Heather, welcome. We're talking about getting back to basics today. And so I posted a thing about how if things seem crumbling now, everything kind of crumbles before it builds back up. And that's usually a tower moment and all of that. Um, and so a lot of us are just out of sorts, and we just need to find that reset button and find that thing that we need to do to get ourselves back on track, and that is getting back to basics. For me, it has literally been, let me get my diet switched around, let me get my body feeling good, let me get some more sleep. It's just those basic life functions that are going to make me feel better. It's going to give me clarity of mind so that the next thing that I can do, right, as we move up the spiral of vibratory frequencies, right? As we raise our vibration, that thing that now is not even a problem, like Sarah has moved up the spiral. So food, sleep, and water are no longer the things that she knows right now she needs to journal. So then you could start adding those extra things on when things become more habit forming. So I want you, if you are struggling today, I want you, if you are not feeling your best self these days, if you're kind of having some emotional turmoil, I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to really think about, when's the last time, how much water have I drank? And those are those check-in, like little journals that we talked about doing. And I have not been journaling, I've not been doing it. But it's those daily affirmations. It's having enough water. It's getting good sleep. It's making sure that you go barefooted for a few minutes. But some days it may just be, I have to drink my 8 glasses of water. Some days it just needs to be, I just need to get a good night's sleep, and that's okay. If you need to get back to basics, get back to basics, because we always feel like things are way bigger when we're not taking care of. I know that. Like when my blood sugar was high, my blood pressure was high. I was not sleeping. I was not eating right. I was drinking diet soda like it was water. My kidneys weren't flushing things. I felt awful. And the more that I take care of the meat suit, right, the body that carries the soul, the more that I take care of the body that houses it, and the more I feel better. And it's kind of the same thing. Think about how much better you feel when you're living in a clean house, right? A high five. How can I get a hallelujah, amen? If you feel like a different person when your environment is tidy and clean and in order, and it's everything where it needs to be. My office is a disaster right now. Everything is out of sorts right now. We're taking tomorrow off. Monday we're closed. If we got orders in over the weekend, we're going to go ahead and get those things filled and pushed out. But we are not open for business tomorrow. Like we're not open like with hours and things like that tomorrow. We're taking a reset day. We are going to I need for this business, like everything happening so fast. I'm trying to work everything in like these 15-minute sessions with my people, trying to make some decisions, and like I got some things going on. And I was like, you know what? We need a timeout. We need a mental health day. We need to do an all-employee meeting, get everybody back on the same page. We're making real-time decisions because things are happening in real time, and not everybody's up to date on all the decisions, and people are doing things different. Not that it's wrong. It just needs a reset day. And just like us as human beings, right? As human beings, sometimes when we're out of sorts, all we have to do is allow ourselves a moment to get back to basics. Say, you know what? Let me check in with me and see what it is. Am I drinking enough water? Have I had enough energy to get me through the day? Maybe I'm sluggish because I haven't eaten. Maybe it's because I haven't gotten enough rest. Maybe it's because I'm not, moving my body, and my body hurts because I'm not getting up and getting into nature. Um, all of the things, getting some sunshine, some vitamin D, some sun on your skin, whatever it may be. We have to get back to basics, right? We have to get back to basics. And here's the thing, I was using Sarah as an example about how she has her basic thing that she has to get back to, like, this, the water, the sleep, the food right now is second nature to Sarah. But now her basic is journaling. And as you raise your frequency, and we've all done this, we get out of sorts. And then we have to figure out what is the thing we're missing now. I always say I go 2 steps up and then I go 2 steps back, or 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. But I get frustrated with it. But when you take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, guess what? You're still a step ahead. You're still one step ahead. And next time, maybe you'll take 4 steps forward and only 1 step back. Right? But you have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself love. You have to give yourself some kindness with that. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're here. And it's funny that you showed up, right? I really needed all this today. Thank you. You're welcome. You've been on my mind lately. I actually asked Carly, have you talked to her? She's like, no, I haven't. So you need to reach out, but I got you. My basic behaviors have really changed over the past 2 weeks. I'm now becoming the healthiest hippie that I can possibly be. My food 3 days a week now comes from Grateful Fed and is Reiki infused. I love that. I have to eat the elephant exactly. Eat the elephant one bite at a time, right? You eat the elephant one bite at a time. And the thing is that when you start realizing that those basic things, like when I realized, I'm like, I say I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. And, one of the things you learn in these sessions that you do, if you do these healing sessions, is like, if you say you don't have time to sit down for 10 minutes, you need to sit down for 20 minutes, because you have time is yours. You control all of the time, right? And you have to make time and carve out time for yourself. And, when the last couple of weeks, working on cooking a nutritional breakfast now, and if you're suffering with water, infuse it with fruit is amazing. Yes, if you're suffering with water, infuse it with fruit. And I'm going to tell you, we are, hang on one second. I just got some people coming by today, and I wanted to, let's see here. All right. But that's exactly right. You find workarounds. Ask in the community. That's what we're here for. We made we're doing tzatziki this next week, and we're doing horiyatiki salad, which is very heavy in cucumber, right? And you have to peel the cucumber. So we juiced and we pulsed and we made juice, and we squeezed all the juice because you got to make it really dry. You take the cucumber, you juice it all, you cut it all up, but then you take a bag and you squeeze out all of the juice out of the cucumbers to be able to put it into the tzatziki, which is like sour cream and all these other things. And so we took the juice. We don't want to waste anything, because Red was saying how there's so much healthier benefits, and it gives you the energy of caffeine without the caffeine in cucumbers. So we made a cucumber lemonade this past week. And we then, most of the time, whenever we're peeling cucumbers, Grace will just throw those all into a big jug and we'll fill it up, and that'll be our water. We'll infuse it with, you can do it with vegetables as well as fruit. Cucumber is a really good one. Cucumber and lime water is delightful. If you have not done that, and that is as simple as putting if you're eating a cucumber for dinner, wash it, peel it, keep the peels, put it in the bottom of your water jug, put some limes in there with it and fill it up with water, let it sit, and it's going to be the best water you've ever had. It's going to give you the natural benefits of energy, all the things, the antioxidants from the fruits, the energy from the limes. There's just so many things that it can do for you. But again, that is everybody's personal preference. We are, yes, walks in nature and feeding my monkey mind with new ideas and concepts. Next week, yes, I love that. I love that. You will enjoy that very much. Good morning. It's okay. You're never late. Time is an illusion. You're right on time. But whenever you're feeling some type of way, that's going to be the first step, right? It's going to be the very first step, is just saying, have I had enough water today? Have I had enough sleep today? Yes, and cucumber water is delicious, right? And what do you do? Like, what is the thing? Like, what is the thing that like, what is the one thing that knocks you off your game? For me, I think it is being tired. Or it's also, and a lot of you will say this, you understand when you like, well, I can't control my body's pain. I'm like, but I can. Like, my body's pain is a big driver for me being out of flow. When I am hurting uh, over time, and I understand it, I know so many of you come to me with chronic pain issues, and I'm going to tell you, I suffer from chronic pain, and it is one of those things where I see all the posts about, like, you don't understand, we suffer in silence, all of these things. And it is very much true, because nobody wants to hear me complain every day. And there are times whenever I'm trying to get up from my desk and I do not want to show anybody, but it is like every bit of like a disaster for me to move. But I'm going to tell you, the other day, I talked about this on a live the other day. We took last Monday, I think it was last Tuesday. I took home a giant salad with grilled chicken, and Red and I had this beautiful grilled chicken salad for dinner. I drank all of my water that day. I just ate good that day, just ate clean that day. And I woke up the next day and I came in here and I said, it's going to be a wonderful day today. I woke up for the first time in months without having any pain. I slept through the night. I feel amazing. This is the best thing that ever happened. Then I go home that night after having that wonderful, beautiful day. And we ordered pizza for dinner. I was like, we haven't had pizza in a while. Let's just keep it easy and light tonight. Juliana said, I'll go pick it up. There was a coupon for like $12.99 large pizzas. I sent her out. We got 2 large pizzas for dinner. The 3 of us split them. We had leftovers. But the next day I wanted to scream. You know why? Because I chose something that was high in gluten, that had inflammation all over it. It was nothing but, it was pizza. It was not good for me. And it was processed, and it was all the nitrates. And exactly 80% of my pain is self-induced due to your choices. And that's what I'm saying. I believe that about 100% of mine might be at this point, right? And so then we get into that stinking thinking cycle of, well, I deserve this because I'm doing it to myself, because we know that. And how do I have a right to complain about it if I'm doing it to myself? And I said to myself after my last session, when all this came to light about what I was doing, and I said, you know what? I was like, I have to give myself gentleness, ease, and grace. I need to make better choices. I now have the correlation. So I have the knowledge to stop doing this. And I am, last night we went to my mother-in-law's house and we had a cookout, and I had a hamburger and I had a hot dog, one of each. I had some corn on the cob. I had some watermelon. I had some baked beans. I did not eat the chocolate cake. The doctor said, you can have cake on your birthday, not everybody's birthday. And this was a beautiful, like, I didn't have to make it chocolate cake. It had chocolate Hershey's on top of it. And my mother-in-law can put it down when she cooks, right? I have learned if I choose gluten, I am so inflamed. And for me, I'm sugars and things like that just affect my body bad. I'm not going to cut them out 100%. I'm not going to do that. But when I do it, I'm not going to give myself such grief for it. Like, one of the things Carly said was, if you're going to indulge in like this cheeseburger, like, be happy about it, be joyful about it, and bring that type of perspective to it. Because if you sit there and go, oh my God, why am I eating this shit? It's going to do that exact thing. So if you have that and you have it once in a while, like, sometimes you want a burrito, right? I'm not saying you can treat yourself to it all the time, and I don't call it treat yourself. But if you want something and you choose to do it, don't choose it with like animosity. Go full fervor into it. I am trying to see, like, for me, I enjoy delicious, healthy food. I do. It's just a lazy thing that where I'm at home and it's like all the healthy stuff's at the office and I've got a frozen pizza here, right? So I'm working to reset my house to where I have those options. So I'm getting back to basics. And sometimes it looks like that. Sometimes getting back to basics for me looks like a deep purge clean of my house. And that includes getting rid of all of the things in my cabinet and cleaning all of that out and having some plans. Number 2, it looks like me having an opportunity to reconnect with nature, even if it's taking a walk down my driveway or going and sitting in the yard. And I need some outside time from here and there and yon, right? And then it looks like getting good rest these days. It looks like being able to find time to do something that unplugs my mind, which I'm trying to find that thing for me. I'm trying to find that thing that I enjoy doing. The problem is that that thing that I really enjoy doing is cooking. That is my outlet, and that is also my job. So because they do so much of the cooking here, I actually get to do that a little bit at home. So being able to, I'm going to go and reset the kitchen and get some real good ingredients in and be able to create beautiful food for my family. Today we're going to be doing some steaks on the grill tonight. And that's our fresh grain fed beef, our grass fed beef that we local organic. We're going to have some asparagus with that tonight and some sweet potatoes with that tonight. So it's a little a little lower in carb, potato, green vegetables, those kind of things. And I plan on getting some sleep tonight, and I'm drinking plenty of water today. And I'm going to take some deep breaths in nature today and get my feet in the dirt today. I got dressed today. I did those kind of things. I need to get my house cleaned up. So I'll probably focus more on the inside than the outside. It's going to be super hot today. I do a lot of outside during the week because I'm here in and out of the building around back. I get a chance in the mornings to go outside, take my shoes off before I get in the car. But we're just going to get back to basics. So I want you all to think about what basics looks like to you, right? What does it look like to you? Because that's mine. Sarah's basics looks a lot different now than it looked 6 months ago. And a lot of you have evolved past some of these, just how you drink and water. But some of you just need a reminder. And I had thought I had evolved past it. I thought I had evolved past it. But I'm back to, have I had enough water? Am I getting enough sleep? How do I take care of my basic needs so that I can get out of survive and into thrive? And I want each and every one of you just to take a mindful moment each day to ask yourself that simple, silly little question. Have I had enough water today? Now, on that note, I am not going to stay super long today. As you can tell, I don't have an hour in me anymore with being able to talk that long. It's literally so water and sleep deprivation are Heather's worst. And that's me. And I feel like I was very excited because when you're watering a new plant and it runs through, that's kind of how when you're starting to get back on your water kick. I have been in the bathrooms. I've had to pee so much. I have had to pee so much. But I'm like, okay, hopefully this will all even out and I'll be able to not be dehydrated, and it won't see running through me soon enough. So we are going to draw our weekly crystal card, and we're already at 37 minutes, so we might stay on time today. We do have, you have one more chance. You have until the end of the day to go ahead and get your orders in. All of my pain, let me read this up here. All of my pain is bad arthritis in my lower back, and I have been able to do much of anything. Walking is very painful and waiting on more test results. Open to any ideas that will help. I know this is a minor compared to what many here are dealing with. It's not minor, and you should never, ever, ever, you should never, ever qualify what you're dealing with in comparison to someone else, because we all live in our own worlds, Miss Katie. And bad arthritis in your lower back is a very awful thing, especially when it takes your ability to do the things that you love away. So number one, we want to send lots of love out to Katie Shaw for what she's dealing with. And I want you to not feel bad about having to say, you deserve the love and the care, and it knocks you down. And we want to hold you up and say, we care about you. We're sorry this is happening. One of the things that you can do is kind of some chair stretches. And of course, I'm not a doctor. I don't want you to do anything that your doctor has not prescribed you to do. But you can look online and just Google some videos on low impact, easy ways to help low back arthritis pain. And I do some things like laying in my bed with my hip flexors and things like that, as well as just sitting in your chair. There's just stretches that you can do to help loosen that up. Arthritis is also an inflammatory disease. And so things like sugars, things like nicotine, things like gluten, soy, corn, dairy, they can all affect the inflammation factors. So if you look at the things that, if you read about, like, what are some holistic approaches, and that's what I do. I was like, what are some holistic approaches to pain management for this disease? For me, arthritis as well. One of the things that I do, yes, she definitely uses the arthritis salve for sure on that. I know she does that. But the holistic approach to that, then I want you to, like, here's the thing, right? Like, it tells you like all these things you can do. If you know that one of those things you do a lot of, just give yourself a trial and error. I'm not saying like quit it forever, but give yourself a week off of it. Like, if it says sugar will help, like getting rid of sugar will help. So then, like, try to like cut down on your sugar for a week and see if you see a decrease in your pain. I try anything once, twice if I like it's what I tell people. So do a little process of elimination with your diet, with your movement. I know that it takes you off lower back pain, but there are things you can do laying down in a recliner, in a chair, to help loosen and help that up. Denny, yes, with what you have going on, you need to get rid of soda completely. I'm not being silly about that. That's just an intuitive thing for me. I'm also trying to get rid of sodas completely. As I sit here with my one for the day, because I didn't have coffee this morning and I had a headache, and I'm like, I need a little caffeine. I need water, and I can't have that until I finish my bottle of water. So what I have been doing is I love my sodas, and I'm trying to break myself from them. Number one, I say until I've had a bottle of water, I cannot have a soda. And then as the day goes on, I allow myself, like, I'm allowing myself 3 a day. And then I say, okay, now on this day, I'm only going to have 1 a day. And it's kind of things I do for me, but it's always going to be about when you decide, right? You can, in any moment, you have the choice to do it. And I know that every time I pick one up, I'm like, I'm choosing this. And I make a conscious effort of saying, I am choosing this soda. I am not addicted to this soda. I am choosing this soda, and I'm working every day to no longer want to choose that because it's not life affirming to me. I love it. I'm gonna be honest, I love it. I get it. But I know that water is better for my body. And I'm like, what do I want more? To feel better or to have that soda? And some days it's to have that soda. But most days today lately has been a lot more. It's been a lot more water. Also, I'm not as thirsty when I drink water, so I don't really want that to drink. That's more of a habit for me. I found like a lot of that's habit, it's my emotional support Pepsi. So I get it. I get it. My doctor has me so confused. I can't have more than 4 bottles of water because of fluid around my heart. The nausea is so bad. Coke is the only thing that helps. So yeah, and I hear that. So that is your doctor's going to know better. And I do the water instead. I don't know how that works with fluid around your heart. I mean, for me, the more water I drink, the more I flush fluid. So I don't know how that works. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I did not even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I have no credentials. I just know it works for my body. Um, yes, my emotional support Coke. My daughter teases me about my Coke dealer. That's funny. And what's happening? You can sit at the house for weeks and haven't touched it. Keep trying. Yeah, and I have been buying less of them. Missy, we love you, darling. So we're gonna pull, and I know that Elizabeth says up here, the pain relief salve is offer some. Yes, and it does mine as well. And I'll tell you what I am doing right now to break my pain cycle that I've been in. I have been struggling. Um, with stuff. Y'all know how, like, this whole situation is like, I am not the pain in my this is a pain my body is going through, but I am not this pain. I am not this pain in my body is my affirmation. Word, I am word through this pain. I am not this pain in my body. I am free. I am free. I am free. I talk my way through it. I affirm my way through it. But I had something it went in and out, in and out. I'm sorry. Oh, my routine right now is I use flour. I'm very much a flower girl, right? A flower chick. I'm a flower girl. I'm always a flower girl, never a bride. I am I use flour as pain relief during the day, and I use my healing salve as breakthrough pain. like as needed. Usually about 3 times a day it's applied. But then after dinner, I do a. Right now, I'm doing a pretty hefty. I am not this disease. Exactly. I am not this disease. I love that. Um, I am on a very like I'll pick like a really like cinnamon toast crunch cookie or a 420 cookie or gluten free snickerdoodle, which that might be what I need because it's gluten free. Um, I am doing like a high dosed edible after dinner. Like that's my overnight. I need to go to sleep. I want to be in bed by like 10 o'clock. I don't want to be up to 2 or 3 in the morning. I am 100,000% um, a heavy, like high dosed edible after dinner. And then an hour before bed, like I usually with the edible, I'll take because I've needed the extra anti-inflammatory. I've taken some ibuprofen, and then when I get up to go physically get into the bed, I take the pain relief salve and I do my shoulder, my jaws, both my shoulders, both my jaws, my elbows, my knees, my hips, my ankles, my feet, my hands. Those are my joints, like all the places that it hurts. I do a little rub down and then I take some deep breathing before bed. And I have been doing a little affirmation about, I'm releasing any energy and returning it back to its sender that doesn't belong to me, that's not to my highest and best. Thank you for a beautiful day. I'm going to bed knowing that tomorrow is going to be the best day I've ever had, those kind of affirmations at night. And I am feeling a ton better. That's me. That's my routine. That's what I'm doing. And every day I wake up and I start making better choices because I wake up with the mindset of I want to do better. Um, the world is changing and it's changing fast right now. The frequency is crazy off the charts. And so no matter what's happening for you right now, if you're ready to move into the next frequency, it's going to find its way. You're going to find your way. You're going to find the thing that works for you. You are going to step into your power and you are going to do exactly what you were intended to do. I mean, everything is happening and unwinding exactly as it should. Now, if you are new here, I don't think anybody that's watching is new here, but if you are new here, we do a crystal affirmation card pull for the collective every Sunday morning. Heather Johns is very, very sweet. She has this exact deck at home. So what she does for us during the week is that she will post all of this in the Hometown Hippie private group. And I am only about 2 hours now away from being back in the Hometown Hippie private group and able to post. I thought I was back at 9 o'clock, but it was 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, apparently. So I will be back posting in there this week as well. And we are working on, Selena's going to be putting a poll up to figure out what y'all want to see next weekend, right? What do y'all want to see? What is something that you would like to have back for your weekender? Now, I will say that we do have a few more of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch cookies available. If you've not gotten one, you have a chance. Don't forget, everyone who places an order $50 or more this weekend before shipping and tax will get you an opportunity to be entered into our trio popsicle giveaway. Heather Johns got her popsicles. Heather, have you had one of those popsicles yet? Because holy mackerel, those are the bomb.com. Let me just tell you that. Those things are delightful. They will also they're really fun. They've been super, super wonderful for my throat pain and all of that. But if you've not gotten entered yet, get your order in before midnight tonight. Get your order in. I love it. She said, eating the lavender one now. Those are gluten-free. Those are beautiful. There's a root chakra. There's a lavender lemonade. And then there is the mango orange blossom, which has the intensified terpene shot in it. So it's also like intensified a little bit. So they're really, really good. We are going to put a poll up to let you pick what you want to see for next weekend's Weekender. But I was getting ready we had sold the last cookie, and I went into the website to take it off to mark it as sold out because I forgot to track stock. And unfortunately, somebody got in and they ordered another one, so we had to make a whole nother batch of them. I wish Weekly Dinners could ship. My every plate sub would be canceled so fast. Yes, I know. Yes, we would love to be able to do that. But right now, that's not a possibility right now, but we would love that. Maybe when the technology gets, we can like beam it up, Scotty, you know? But so if you are in the group, make sure that you vote on the poll for what you want to see next weekend. And we are giving away a popsicle trio to some lucky winner who spent every $50 gets you an entry. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. We're going to take some deep breaths in. So if you're watching me at home, the way that we do this, right? We center our energy by inhaling the good stuff in through our noses. And we blow out the bad stuff out through our mouth. When we were talking about the thing that brings us back to center, if I am struggling and I'm in an emotional state out in public, maybe I start having a little panic if I'm like somewhere I don't want to be or something's happening that's like just making me a little uncomfortable. Breath work and bringing myself back to center and grounding and pulling in that white light in through the crown, down through, grounding it through the earth and creating my circle. That is the thing that really brings me back to center more than anything. So sometimes if I am in a tizzy, maybe more than journaling, maybe more than having water, is taking that deep breath, because everything begins with the breath. So take one more deep breath in through your nose. And exhale it out through your mouth, deep and full and long. If you need a few more of those, take those deep, deep, deep breaths. I say inhale the good shit. Exhale the bullshit. And I want you all to do that. And then I want you to kind of like settle into your everyday deep breathing. The deeper, the fuller, the better, right? We have not done a meditation in a while. We may do one of those this week. I may come in and do like a little Monday morning meditation. We'll get our energy bubbles built up, that kind of thing. But we're going to go ahead and I want you to think about a question, and we're going to ask that the card be the collective question, whatever it may need for you, whether you're watching this now or later on. We all know outside people leaving places kill me. Sounds like a panting dog trying to get a grip before I go into. Yeah. I had to go to Walmart yesterday, and I was going to get some birthday stuff for my sister-in-law, things like that. And I was sitting in the parking lot, and I don't go into stores. Like I put the thing on my post about where I'm at if I'm not here, and if I'm not at home, I'm here. If I'm not here, I'm at home. I had to go occasionally Food Line. That's like the one place I go into that I feel very comfortable. So I went to Walmart, and I was like, protect my energy. Only put the people in my path that are to my highest and best. Protect me while I'm in the store. Keep my anxiety down. Help me find everything I need. Give me the clearest and cleanest travel path. And I set that intention. I went to the store and said, everything was where it needed to be. Walked out and kept it moving. It was beautiful. So maybe that works. So Elizabeth says, yes, morning meditation. I love that. I love that. Monday morning meditations. Yas. And you know what we might do? Why don't we do those? Not this Monday because I've got an employee meeting. But maybe we'll start that. I'll talk to the girls about, maybe I'll start a Monday morning meditation. And if you want to come here, we'll do it in the Garden of Whedon at 9:00 on Mondays. We'll just all have a little Monday morning meditation. You can do it online, either one. So let's go ahead and take one more deep breath. I'm asking my angels, my guides, and my helpers to come in and work through me. Help me to give the clearest and cleanest message to the highest and best benefit of the people who are watching now or watching in the future. All right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This card popped out. I just feel like it's the card. Ooh, we've never had this one. This is something that's right up Sam and Lisa's alley too. Lemurian quartz. Practice patience. And I think that that's a great card for today's message as well. Practice patience, especially whenever we want things to change in our worlds, and we get frustrated when they're not changing fast enough. And we were talking about today about getting back to basics and taking care of yourself and your body. And I feel like this card is very much about practicing patience in everything, even patience with yourself. And that's the initial message I've got. I've never pulled this card out. I've not opened the book. I'm going to do that now and read it. So let's see what Lemurian quartz has to say I've never pulled this card before, and I hear Sam and Lisa talking about Lemuria and Lemurian quartz, and I am really like, it's like Mercury's in the microwave. I don't understand what that means. Like, I don't know what that all is. So Heather would probably be ever. Heather, could you fill us in on Lemuria and quartz and all? I just don't know enough about any of that stuff. Lemurian quartz. So I don't have any Lemurian quartz. I'd love to have some. But Heather says it vibrates so high you can feel it in your hand. And what it says here is slow down. There's no need to hurry or rush through life. When I said slow down, the song Vienna started playing loudly in my head, like loudly. This, it just started playing very loudly in my ears. Slow down, you crazy child. You're too ambitious for a juvenile, right? There's no need to hurry or rush through life. There's enough time for you to do everything that you need to do. Learn to quiet the restless parts of yourself and take life one step at a time. There's a difference between being busy and being productive. And I've said that so many times. Don't be busy, be productive. Make sure you spend your precious time on the things that matter most. Patience is not something you acquire once you never have to think of it again. It is a practice, one that must be consciously drawn upon even when your poise is tested. Go with the pace of nature and trust that everything will happen in due course. A little mindful patience makes the everyday more enjoyable so that you can appreciate life's natural pauses. Core questions. When people or situations test your patience, how can you be more patient in your everyday life? Taking a breath, having a glass of water, getting some good sleep. Maybe your patience is tested because you're not rested or one of those things, right? When I post the card, I'll put, yes, I love it. Yes. Um, Core questions. What people or situations test your patience? How can you be more patient in your everyday life? Our crystal action, which is our affirmation this week. I am patient. Today, slow down. Let someone pass in front of you in traffic or go in front of you at the line at the store. Take a second, take a moment, pause, and be mindful. Be patient. You didn't get here in a day. You're not going to get out of here in a day, right? I didn't gain all this weight overnight. I'm not going to take it off overnight, right? I didn't, I didn't have these habits of drinking a diet soda yesterday. I didn't just start drinking them yesterday. I'm not going to stop drinking them today, right? So be patient with yourself. Give yourself gentleness, ease, and grace. Know that you are worth it. Know that you are worth waiting for. You are worth being patient for. There's a song that just came. It's so funny, the stuff that just comes in through me. It's just silly. It's just the things that pop in. When I was a kid, we went to church a lot. When my mom was very much kept us in church, and we went to a Pentecostal church. And one of the things that happened at this church, and some of you may be watching and probably gone to this church with me back in the day, it's the Pentecostal church. But they would allow, we had like a little like singing, and then they would ask anybody who wanted to sing, you could come up and sing a song. And they had part of that as church. We didn't have a choir, but people came up and sang and did worship songs. And so I had some friends at church, and there was this song they taught us that was called He's Still Working on Me. Anybody know that little song, like He's still working on me to make me what I ought to be? I guess it really ought to be a sign upon my heart. Don't judge me yet. I'm an unfinished part, right? It's about God working on us, and about how God works through us, and how we're all a work in progress. And that as a kid, be patient with me because I'm just a kid. Kind of the song, it's a kid song, talking to your parents about be patient. We're all kind of God's still putting us together because we're little, kind of thing. But that just came into play, right? Be patient with yourself. You're still a work in progress. Even you don't even have a clue of like where you're going to ascend to and what your frequency is going to look like. You're still a baby and a fetus in the grand scheme of the universe. So even if you think you're 80 years old and you should know better, right? Remember that the universe, you're still a work in progress. You're still perfectly imperfect, and you are loved exactly as you are. Give yourself time, give yourself patience. Something I struggle with when faced with everyday tasks. I have to remind myself it's not a race or a competition. Take my time and get it done. Exactly. I think that like patience comes into play with like all of that, like being able to give ourselves the courtesy and the kindness that we would give others. And on that note, we're going to call it a day. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in this morning, for letting me have my moment with you. As we always end these lives, we're going to do so with a couple of things, and I'm right on time today as always. I want to first of all thank you all for watching. I want to remind you that we have our deal going on through midnight tonight, so get your orders in. It was going to benefit you. It's going to benefit everybody. We got some fun stuff happening. New weekenders coming next weekend. We love you. We appreciate you. And as we always end our lives, as Heather's saying it right here, right? With a little peace, a little love, and a little feast, y'all. And as always, stay elevated. I love you and have a good day.